shine in, shall we? Shall we? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? Rise and shine. Morning marijuana motivation time. Your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. This is Saint's Addiction. I'm addicted to this life, and I'm addicted to this shine. As soon as this cloud wants to pass by, you can see there's some cloudy days ahead, maybe 25% of rain, but I'm standing here in the flowers, in the grass, at my friend's place. Enough money to make it last, find my own place, find my own mind, and find some peace of time, because that's what it takes when you're not got your little small penis out with your little motorcycle fucking up the live. You know, you can sit in the shade like me on the swing and enjoy the morning time. I've been up for a while now, you know what I mean? I've been doing this damn thing for a while now as well. And that's why I was in my head this morning. I'm like, it's a mind war, bro. There's a war in our minds going on that most of us aren't winning. You know what I mean? If you're drinking, you're not winning. You know, if you got friends that give you weed, then you've joined Weed Club. And if you're sinning, you're not winning, because eventually you're creating demerits against yourself. And I don't know if I want to. Maybe I sit on that side to get more sunlight. Yeah, let's switch sides. Let's switch sides with our lives. On the live and in our real life. Switching sides for the positivity. Oh man, this cloud doesn't want to go away. It just wants to be cloud, 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 cloud. Instead of sunshine, shine, 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 shine. You know? This should be sunshine, shine, 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 shine. It's like, this is like the Simpsons going on over here. And over here, it just doesn't want to, it wants to give us big old clouds. And I'm like, I want to give us big old shine. Humboldt, morning, homie. What time is it where you are, bro? What time is it right now? I'm looking at about 11:26. That's right. AM. I'm just saying, while I'm spraying some of this knowledge, it's just, it's sad to watch, and it happens to me too. I'm human. I'll go into my mind and think about my X time, or go into my, oh shit, look what I got. H1 Hi-Fi 4G. I haven't seen this since Thailand. And Papi Chulo Purple. Bro, I can smell this through the fucking bag, bro. Like, born to last. Let me get some of this shine, man. I'm ready to roll my motherfucking morning sunshine. You know what I mean? And maybe this works for me. You know, the weed, I was explaining to people, or one of my teammates, that I was willing to give it up just to win, you know, to be successful in my life, to keep me harnessed at my chi. Yesterday, I was kind of pissed at one of the new teammates. He had deleted everything, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And it took me a while to get my homeostasis back. To feel my normal self. And if it takes that much, as I'm gonna spill this brunch, if it takes that much, then odds are you're not centered, right? Odds are you're probably losing the war on the inside. And as somebody that just watched a whole episode about 6 steps to hypnosis, or subconscious thinking, or the non-verbal voice that happens in your brain. That's probably the best way I can explain it, because it is non-verbal, but it's strong. It's something that keeps you sitting or waiting or no action at all. That's what we do with our time. I'm gonna switch sides. Yeah, switch sides. Watch this swing with me. Hold tight. Let me switch sides. You'll be on this side with me. I'll be over here in the sunshine. Try to like to watch people when they come up on me. But the shine is on this side, so we're gonna sit here and just relax a little bit. But yeah, man, what did he say? What time it was? 2:27 in the AM. You're smoking real train. Bro, my buddy grows it. He takes it seriously. You know, I made Joy Weed Club worldwide, so gotta have some Snoochie Boochie Noochies. And it was given to me for free, so shout out to my boy Sam. You're the man. But to stay the man, to stay human, is a war inside our brains that no one can see. I know you probably heard the same phrase before, but there's a war going on inside everybody, you know, and we don't see it. We get tucked behind our gray cloud. You know, the shine tries to come out of us. It lets us wake up. That's part shine. You know, it lets us breathe. That's part shine. You know, it keeps us out of the hospital. That's what keeps us shiny too. But the war, the chemical balances in our brain going on all the time, it's a battle zone. And unfortunately, we have cheap defense. You know, we don't have really good. Go ahead, Mr. Energy, do your thing. I made my point exactly. You know, I'm making my point exactly. While they're going past my morning motivation, I'm wondering how motivated they are. You know, I'm wondering just how happy they can be. You know, most of us, we live in tragedy. Let me get my pants right. It's binding my balls up. And we'll live in that zone. Get off me. See, like my pocket wants to grab onto that. You know, I'm like, why am my underwear bunching up and I can't sit still? Or why is things not going my way? Or why am I not saying the things that I mean? Or why is that voice so loud even though it's quiet? Even though you don't verbally give like a commandment to your sunglasses, hat, or your mind, right? You can still be listening to a station that's really loud, and it throws chemicals with the ideas. It's true, whether we like it or not. It's going to process your feelings and then teach it to send chemicals that you don't even want up into your brain and drive you insane. All the missing things in life, all the things that went wrong, all the people that don't love you or you feel like you're unloved will start pumping in your brain and drive you insane. And this is where people go towards drugs. This is where people go towards depression. This is when people don't get the benefit of an actual loving life, you know, a happy, healthy, loving life. And I think that's the biggest struggle of all of our lives, right? Is we don't enjoy the time as it's passing. It was a comedian that said it, but he was being serious, and he said, you know, life is the enjoyment of the passing of time. Well, time is passing regardless if you're paying attention, but are you enjoying? And that's the real question. That's the question that's on everybody's mind. That's the thing we're all trying to get to. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're already carving a mental pathway in your mind for dopamine, you know, a pathway to get to your happy. And I'm not quite sure what that noise is over there, but it's trying to get on my happy too. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm trying to stay clear and there's somebody over there drilling holes in my canoe. They did it yesterday. It took me almost 2 hours to get right, you know. Some days takes longer than others. I know you know what I mean. Go ahead, look, more energy, more loud, more construction. Go ahead, try to be the energy in this theme. And that's what it is. It's a theme. It's a theme park for most people in their mind. You know, we just practicing all the fun things. We're not concentrating on serious things. We just want everything to always be awesome. But even that wears out. It wears out our mind. It wears out our lives. There's nothing that we can do about it because we can't constantly stay stimulated. We got to sleep sometime. You know, we can't constantly be active. We got to rest sometime. You know, we have to balance our cheese, if you will. And most of us are unbalanced. I have to let you know. I'm trying to get this, roll this joint proper, and it wants to be as bunched up as my fucking boxers. I don't know. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't. Sometimes my pocket catches the edges, and sometimes it won't. It's a whole ass thing, man. This life is a whole ass thing, and it keeps coming. Whether you're prepared for it, whether you have any mental defenses, where you even have any coping mechanisms, the war is on. And I don't give a fuck who you are. There's a battle going on in everyone. You might not see it, but they do it. Maybe it's their self-confidence. Maybe it's the things they value. You know, maybe it's their habits. A lot of us are just like that. You know, we got to face the music, if you will. You know, eventually you got to churn it up, say money ain't a thing, and look at what kind of music you've been playing. What kind of silent radio is going on in your head when no one else can hear it, no one else is listening, but for sure you are listening. Go ahead, traffic. Go ahead, traffic. Be that way today. It's one of those days that wants to be not in synchronicity. My underwear want to feel bunched up. My pocket wants to get caught up, you know, and the tobacco don't want to even stay where I tell it to, you know. It's going to be like that sometimes. Life can be such a detriment and not so happy, and that's the realm that I'm talking about. If everyone else is just happy constantly, then how would we know what sorrow felt like? How would we know what grief felt like? It keeps us in balance, and I firmly believe that. So for most of us, especially when your coat wants to hang on to stupid shit, for most of us, we live in a world in our mind that isn't very safe for us. And that's why we're having this conversation this morning. You know what I mean? It needs to be a safe place, like all the girls like to say. But even their mind drives them crazy. Who's paying attention to me? Attention is an addiction, you know? We'll do whatever it takes just to feel like someone cares about us. And just because they're paying attention to us doesn't necessarily mean they care about us. You know what I mean? And we'll confuse certain chemicals or feelings as the true desire that we wanted. We'll compromise ourselves. Hell, we'll bend over in a thong just to get some likes, even though there's probably somebody we're disappointing, like our mother or our child or something else. It's the quick fixes. It's like, I just want the attention now, so let me take off my bra, let me show my underwear, and I don't care, you know? And there it is, you know? Oh my God, this is so frosty. Jesus. You know, and that's where I was like, okay, there's a war going on, you know? Some of my friends will say, oh, I'm too, I have social anxiety, or they're just too lazy to do anything about it. And I know you know who I'm talking about. Plenty of friends that just never want to get up or do anything. Go ahead, Win. You can fuck all the fuck away off. I'm trying to roll this blunt. You know, I'm trying to roll a jizzoint, and you're trying to blow the load. And I didn't want it to happen to other people, but it will. You know, you'll have strong days, you'll have cloudy days, you'll have windy days, you'll have days that you think will never end, and then days that go by so fast, it'll make your head spin. And some of those moments, they're still living in your mind rent-free. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, our brains are so capable, but also so culpable, you know? That means they're to blame as well. So it's capable and culpable, and both are holding on to be true. Look at this thing go. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get your shit together, man. Come on, man. I'm just trying to roll a joint without all these difficulties, man. Come on, man. Get your shit together, man. Stop fucking up my frame. Stop fucking up my life. Stop fucking up my life. That's what I tell my brain. No, stop driving me insane. I don't want to have anyone to blame. I want it to be free from mental slavery, like Bob Marley says, you know? I don't want to be tortured inside my body and wasting the time that is my life on situations that I've already passed by, love that's lost, things that didn't go right, you know? I replay them, giving them new life in my head, but they just cause me dread. They're not here to relieve me or help me in any kind of way, shape, or form. So in other words, I'm the one that's torturing me. This is why it's a mind war, right? If I tell my mind to shut the fuck up and start concentrating on, like, say, a walk or a gym or something that is positive, right? Something on a bonus side instead of detriment that's driving me fucking crazy and making me have anxiety. I want to go into a realm where I can live positively, that I can change the FM channel in my brain and start telling it to stop, or stop telling it to go insane. Like, start being productive and go in a different direction. What can be really hard when you're mad, frustrated, horny, tired. You know, the whole HALT system can be against you. And HALT is hungry, angry, lonely, tired. You know, the whole HALT system. You know, we all have a HALT system inside of us where we need to stop doing the behavior. Come on, weed. This tobacco is not a friend of mine this morning. I'm telling you what. This little tobacco right here is being a pain in the ass, man. Pain in the mind turns into pain in the heart, turns into pain in the soul, and then our soul hurts, and then we don't know why we're living anymore. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 posts for my friends. You know, I haven't talked to them in the end, but they just feel like their life is pointless. They need to end it all. All those girls that they be liking in the DMs on some thirsty calls, they're not there to hold up their head. They're not there to hold up their soul. Matter of fact, they're long gone. So this is why it's chemical warfare, because there is ain't no love in the heart of the city, you know? Ain't no love in the heart of town. And you're the one that's going to have to find your crown. You're going to have to find a way to win this battle in your brain. And if it's pumped full of alcohol, cigarettes, laziness, excuses, fear, then you operate that way. You vibe that way, and it's always going to be that way. There's nothing you can do about it, because you're going to always believe that there's nothing you can do about it, and you're going to look for other external circumstances or substances to correct it. And God forbid you get with your own consciousness, right? I like a dry but not dry throat. You ever get a zone in your throat where it just felt dry and you can't even swallow it away? That's what just happened to me. There it is. There we go. So, as I go, and I go far in my mind, in my life, you know, as I unzip this motherfucker, because it wants to be a pain in the ass too. Let me put my weed away so nobody gets scared today. As I expand my mind, my consciousness, my life, focusing on how my brain's operating and what I've been telling myself. And it's a whole operation, I promise you that, where I have to get up in the morning and stretch. I got to exercise the demons. I got to get outside and go for the walk, even if there's a cloud overhead. I need to get outside and get that fresh air. I have to be able to move me. Go ahead, get past it. I have to be able to move me away from loud or negativity or people that don't understand me. My job's to understand me. That's the only war that needs to take place. And this is why it's a mind control skills, the 6th law of the unconscious mind that controls everything. I'm literally watching this and wondering who's in control of me. Is it me? Am I in control of me? Or is it my destiny? Or is it my emotions? I see somebody creeping up behind me. This is what I'm saying, bro. Switching up my spot so I can see who's coming, so they don't come all over me. You know what I mean? I'm sure you do. I'm sure everybody knows what I mean. Real Thai in Finland. It's dry throat, bubble guts. Complicated, bunched up boxers. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel as good as it should. You know? Sometimes realize sometimes we torture ourselves. We make this playground a war zone. We go up in our brain and we drive it insane. We'll go over things that are already happened, the replay, the instant replay, and then for sure the mind goes down. So when I'm when I go into my mind and it goes wild, what's not working? What can be changed? Got no love in my life, got no kids in my life, got no cash in my life. Go ahead, get past it. Go ahead, get your loud ass going. Nobody wants to hear it. Get the fuck on past my show, little ass bus. And let's light this up. I thought it was gonna work. This is why I hate papers. They run, stick to my lip, and don't taste good. I miss my blunts, but I got some friends that won't even watch because I spit. Without an arm, I spit. Without an arm, I spit. But I don't want to spit my mind out. I don't want be spun up in my brain, and I don't want to go insane, so I literally have to lift up my spirits and say there's something to look good for here. There's a silver lining. Multiple friends let me sleep on their couches. You know, friends giving me weed and picking me up for lunch. Free lunch. There's no such thing as a free lunch. It is when you got friends. A free couch, you know, and my freedom. You know, I concentrate on this. I actively expand it in my war zone. I've spent so much time on the dark side, on the wrong side of the war, that I kind of learned where all the darkness comes from, that subconsciousness. And we don't really want to go to the dark side. Nobody really wants to have those conversations. We'd love to just have some money and it would fix the topic. It won't. We'd love to have sex with strangers, but that's not going to make them love us. And we also probably still have issues with our siblings, parents, and our past. It's what it is. But what it doesn't have to be is in the now. And if that's going on with you now, stressed about rent, stressed about money, stressed about relationships, then you can quit. You don't have to be that way. You can pump your brain full of other alternatives. I am affirmations, megahertz, positive affirmation. Go ahead. Two vans, two buses at the same time. Two synchronized swimmers. And there it is. A battlefield of emotions and past experiences and the way we play it in our mind. Do we replay it, instant replay? Do we have a highlight reel? Do we go into an abyss of feelings and emotions that we have experienced? Or do we give ourselves the possibility in the future, by operating in the now with action in our brains, to take force of our soul? You know, it's a mice forza. It's a big force to be the type of person that's going to do something about it, or cry about it, you know? And I'm not trying to cry. I'm not saying nothing's wrong crying. You might need to cry. Hell, that might be healthy. I'm saying the action of doing something about the emotion is the difference. It seems like that's the trigger and the reaction at the same time. It's like the same light switch that you keep flickering. It's stuck. It's like a strobe light, and it don't act right. You know, it'll give you schizophrenia. And I hung out with a schizophrenic yesterday. They go in and out of normalcy and deplorability, and then we're the only ones to blame for any action that we take now. Not the future, not the past, but in the now. Say, I want to do something with my life. I want to do something with my mind. As long as I have a mind, body, and soul, I want it to operate fully, y'all. And that includes feeling the fear and being brave enough to move past it. It's not like brave people don't feel the fear, but they operate anyway. They say bravery comes after fear. You know, success comes after failure, and it's not a loss, it's a lesson. Most of us don't focus on the blessings. We'll go back up in our head, focus on what's missing instead of what's present, getting distracted instead of being present, buying presents instead of having presence. And that's what it is. That's what we're all trying to get. We're trying to get a vibe. We're looking at other people and they're like, oh, they got the vibe. But how did they live their lives? How did they live in their mind? That's a secret world you will never know about. But for sure, it operates 100% of your actions. 100% of it came from a subconscious. There was a desire, a secret whisper. I call it an addiction, but but it's there, talking to us, saying things that we might not mean. And instead of going, wait, I love my life, instead of fuck my life, or wait, I have friends, instead of all my friends hate me, or everyone hates me, nobody cares. And then I'll get a phone call and somebody I haven't talked to in a long time will remind me that I am blessed, that they do remember me. Shout out to Humboldt for watching. He reminded me of a memory. The last time I saw you with the Frisbee, you were playing with the topless girl in Spain. I'm like, I was? Thanks for the reminder. And that's all this is. It's just a healthy reminder to remember that you're a part of your life. You're not just spinning in the ocean, right? You're directing the currents. And they're subconscious underneath your boat the whole time. Probably wishing for a better boat, probably wishing for a bigger boat, trying to move forward in this life, find a safe harbor. But the winds of change will always come. Time and tide waits for no man or woman. And we get to step into every occasion with all that vibration in the now. And whether we see it or not, other people can smell it, other people can see it. We know when somebody's vibing high, and we know when somebody's hiding. And this is to get back from behind the subconsciousness, this flickering lights in these homes, and turn on the lights. Bring yourself outside, get into the light, and start feeling right. Start treating yourself right. Stop being so hard on yourself. I'm just talking to myself right now, you know? It's one of those. It's like I have to be doing the mental push-ups. It's not enough to do the physical push-ups. That's the easy part. It's controlling the desires. That's the hard part. That's where Saint's addiction came from. It was like, am I just going after every hunger, thirst, or instinct? Or am I going after motivation and direction and accomplishment That's going to be up to me. And the war you can't see, that the mind wars that we all have that nobody wants to talk about, I'll talk about it. I'm your Huckleberry. So for all those that did watch the show, if you got anything out of this, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe below. But as always, peace and love, man. I want peace and love in people's lives. I want peace and love in my life. And that's how I'm going to live my life. Just on the other side of fear, on the other side of my excuses, on the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be and that's where I am. Peace.